Here with Waukegan Public School Board President, Mr. Brandon Ewing. I'm tired of interviewing you, Brandon.
It's okay.
But hey, we gotta do this. We gotta get the message out there. What are your thoughts on the meeting tonight?
So tonight's meeting I thought was good. We got to hear from the community, some people who had questions and concerns about the board action. I feel like there was good conversation between the Board of Education. It passed 4-3. There were 4 board members who supported the purchase of the First Midwest building, 3 board members who opposed it, and I think that we got to hear valid reasons, pros and cons. And so what I want to do now is focus on where we go from here. So the building is purchased. We need to make sure that we have, we made a good investment. So we'll start the inspection process to see if there are any building deficiencies. And we do have a 45-day contingency. So if we find anything within 45 days, we do have the option to back out of the deal.
Okay.
But we also now have the opportunity to look at what happens at Lincoln Center. And so I'm excited at that prospect. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
After the meeting, I'm here with school board member Lucy Leguizamo. Did I say that right? Yeah, Lucy Leguizamo. She's new on the board, and I'm curious to hear her thoughts on the decision that was made tonight.
Yeah, thank you. So it's kind of like what I've said earlier, was it's really about creating opportunity for our students, our staff, our community as well, right? So when I can't wait for this committee to get together, and that's one of the next processes is if we actually do go through with the purchase, because there's still another step that needs to happen to make that finalized, right? Mm-hmm. So although today we approved for this letter to go through, there's still another additional step for all of that to go into play. But if we do go through with that, what I'd like to see is when that committee comes together, I mean, what are the ideas that are going to come out of there, mm-hmm. right? Something that I'd like to see is, wouldn't a school that has like solar panels onto it being self-sustained school, that would be an awesome idea. We could probably even use our high schoolers to learn about solar panels and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of opportunities here, and that's exactly why I voted yes to purchase this building, is to provide those opportunities for our students.
Hello, I'm here with Liz Alba, parent of a Waukegan Public School student. Okay, that's great. What are your thoughts on the decision to move forward with the building?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity for the community and the schools, mm-hmm. so that we can build forward. I am a committee member on the 10-year capital improvement plan, mm-hmm. and we just sat down and figured out what we were going to do for the next 3 years in improving our schools and getting them up to par so that the kids are learning in a learning environment so they can thrive and actually learn mm-hmm. successfully. One topic that did come up today that several board members mentioned was the air conditioning, which has been a great improvement in the schools. You can talk to the kids and parents and faculty, mm-hmm. and everybody's just thrilled that they actually have air conditioning in some of the schools now, most of the schools actually. So getting a new property and seeing the things that can happen for us in the future is very, very positive, and there's no reason why we can't have turn Lincoln Center into a great school that could be for higher learning or for other achievements. And I think it's a great opportunity, and I think for Waukegan we're moving in a good direction.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm here live at the Waukegan Public School Board meeting. I have school board member, he's a school board member, Austin Cantu here. Just tell me what your thoughts are tonight. You, here in the meeting, you were actually for the approval with moving forward with the building. So just let the public know what your thoughts were.
I'm all about opportunity in the city of Waukegan, especially in the downtown area. Mm-hmm. And this isn't just opportunity for the city, it's opportunity for our schools. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have been putting the thing that Lincoln Center will reopen as a school and our administrators will get this brand new building for them. There's still going to be improvements. I know that's a big thing that people are talking about, is the money for the improvements, but mm-hmm. we need to improve every single building in our district. And one thing that came up was asbestos in the building. I know there's asbestos in almost every building, but it's not a danger if it's maintained. In our high school, I know in our band room we have asbestos. So I know we already have students, so we can't really bring that into the concern of why we shouldn't have students moving into this building.
Okay.
But another thing is, again, we don't know what's going to happen to this building. Do we want a middle school? Do we want this to be a fine arts campus? Do we want this to be a campus for like ELL or different extra learning? And it's going to be up to the community to decide. That's what I love the most about this plan. They're going to bring the community in for a committee to decide what we want to do with this building. It's not going to be administrators deciding and delegating what they want to do with this building. The future is for the community. It's their decision.
Okay. Thank you so much for your thoughts.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Hey everybody, Interim here we just finished up the Waukegan Public School Board meeting. I'm here with one of the school board members, Miss Anita Hanna. Look, if you don't remember her, she went viral. She was going down, I got embarrassed, she was going down the Soul Train line.
I wouldn't have even been there.
She was all over the news, okay? Okay, but to bring it back to a serious note, tonight the board approved to move forward with the repurposing of the Lincoln Center building and purchasing. So it was packed in here earlier. The public did express their concerns. So I just want to hear from you, Miss Anita Hanna.
Well, one thing, as a member of the Board of Education, I have to remember that that I am it's a body of a whole, okay, and we have to have our own independent thought, okay. We have to. I've been here on the board 23 years, and I've gone through this process of buying a building, getting stuck with the building, okay, and once the deal fell through, and we ended up having to pay on that contract for over 2-3 years, and it may have been longer than that. Okay, we got into a contract. Anyway, right now, this is not a good thing that we did tonight. And for one reason mainly, the citizens didn't have an input. Okay, they didn't know what was going on with a major issue, major purchase, and the use of public funds. You don't just introduce that in 10 minutes. The public deserves the right to have input in whether how their money is going to be spent. And tonight that was not the case, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm one board member.
Yes.
But I was glad to see that the room was packed, the interest came out, and I'm pretty sure, I know my phone was ringing off the hook once the board docs came out and the people saw what was on the agenda. My phone started ringing off the hook. I started getting questions. Honestly, I couldn't answer them. Okay? Because I didn't know. Okay, and so there were a number of reasons. You know, the plan is not such that I could support it.
Okay.
Okay, and I just could not support it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your thoughts
All righty.
and your vote and everything that you do here in the community.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank
and
you.
anytime.
I'm here with Diana Burdette. She's going to give her thoughts on their decision to move forward with it. So what are your thoughts on them approving?
Well, they've approved to move forward with a $700,000 purchase of the new building.
Right.
with the hopes that they would be able to optimize the usage of this building. So there are many things to consider, a lot of things that come into play, right? As often it is. The optimization or use of this building is ideal. Absolutely. If we have administration that is using a classroom, we have a lot of empty space. A lot of empty space that could be filled with children who could have a better education and more space, right? That said, I am a firm believer in having the voice of the community. And I think that it was very rushed and that not enough input was given by the community. So that's really my biggest driver in this, in setting me back from the purchase. But another thing is, we know that nothing is set until pen is on paper. Correct. So yes, they did move forward to explore the idea.
Yes.
But it's not a done deal.
It's not finalized.
So I think that the community could still have a lot of input and that they should still continue to push.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Here I'm here with Ms. Margaret Carrasco, and she's going to give us her thoughts.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much for your presence here to inform the community. I think that's the most important thing. I always like to hear both sides of the story, and there's a lot of pros and cons. For me personally, I come from a family of educators. My mom, my sister, my dad, all education, and the top priority is the education of the students. Okay, it was stated here that 80% of the children are below reading level. Okay, so right there, that's it. And one of the students also, I thought that was great, her words, that she came and she said, you know, if you have $700,000 to buy a new building for administrators, shouldn't that money instead be used for the students, okay, and for the student fund? So I have a problem with the whole thing because, you know, it would be different if our students were up exceeding the reading level, but I mean, our students are so far behind, and any penny we have should be used for to help our students, not for our superintendent to have a bigger, more gorgeous office. Okay, that's not the purpose of our tax dollars. I think get ready, because they said it's $700,000 to purchase a building, and from $3 to $8 million to renovate that first Miss Wet building, and then another $8 million to renovate Lincoln Center, which is full of asbestos. We're looking at $16 million plus, and we don't have the money, and our families are just barely surviving just to make it. It's just no input from the public. That was the biggest thing that I had a problem with. Mr. McBride was the first person to honestly say they've been talking about it for the past 2 months, and they've kept us in the dark. You know, I kind of got a whiff of it. I exposed it at the last meeting. I don't know if you were there, and they denied. Well, look, all of a sudden now we have the contract. Well, you know what? They were lying to us. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your thoughts.
Thank you.
Thank you.